Happy Sunday, everybody. Happy Valentine weekend. Hopefully, everybody is sitting with your Valentine or your sweetheart or wherever the case may be, keeping them warm and making sure they're okay. Welcome to a quick edition of In the Basement Next Step in K. Just doing over college recaps and a lot of high school basketball that went over during this past week and whatnot. So definitely want to jump in and comment on what's been going on in regards to college basketball, high school basketball, a little bit of pro basketball. We can get into everything. Just hit us up 302-844-8275. Number again is 302-844-8275. Instagram at in_the_basement podcast. YouTube in the basement podcast, and also on Facebook. Same thing, you gotta say it twice, in the basement podcast. So here we are, and it is Sunday Funday, and dare I say it, All-Star Game Sunday. The All-Star Game took a little different look this year. It looks like all the games are actually starting early for NBA All-Star Weekend, and that is like one of my main questions here today. Like, why is the NBA All-Star Sunday starting so early this year? Actually, right now, as we speak, the NBA All-Star Game is on right now, and it's a different format. Instead of having like East versus West like we're used to having it, we're actually doing USA versus the world. So they've been implementing this over the years, ever since like the more influx of like foreign players have been, coming into the mix with the NBA and some of the All-Star games, and also we're going to get into this too with Damian Lillard. He won the 3-point contest. After we go over like some of the past high school basketball scores, especially in the Philadelphia Catholic League playoffs. Shout out to the Philadelphia Catholic League. Shout out to everyone advancing, and also shout out to everyone advancing to the Palestra, and also just shout out to all the players who are actually graduating. Especially some of these players are playing in their last couple games. Definitely going to touch on a couple kids that I know personally, coming to GFS Gym, working out with us, things of that sort. So, Also, we're going to cover how fans are just losing interest in the All-Star game, and some changes that need to be made. And definitely going to cover the road to Palestra. Like I said, congratulations to everybody. And that actually started last week for high school hoops. So I'm going to bring you guys up to date for that. Midterm grades for the NBA so far, college hoop scores, and some 2026 NBA Hall of Fame candidates were actually announced over the weekend. So we're going to get into it right now. For high school basketball, the road to Palestra started on Wednesday. Pretty much the seeding finished on Sunday just to see where they're going to be seated at. Shout out to everybody in the Philadelphia Catholic League. Shout out to all the kids, freshmen up to seniors. First game, in their playoffs since their last game to the playoffs. So, and most of them pretty much left it on the floor. Starting on Wednesday in the first round, number 10 seed LaSalle College Prep played against number 7 seed Archbishop Ryan, and Archbishop Ryan with the win, and they advanced to the quarters, 61-44 for Archbishop Ryan. Malik Hughes had 16 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. For Archbishop Ryan as well, Gore had 13 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. Friend of the program, Matthew Johnson, 3 points, 1 rebound, 5 assists, and 1 steal. And also for LaSalle College Prep, Branson had 9 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, and 3 steals. I did get a chance to actually see this game. In the first half, it was pretty much of a rock fight. And this is what pretty much happens in the Philadelphia Catholic League playoffs. If you're looking for like a high scoring game, 9 times out of 10, it's pretty much not going to happen. Probably the highest score I've seen so far is maybe 70, maybe mid 60s, But with the win, LaSalle College is actually eliminated from playoff contention. Archbishop Ryan advanced to the quarterfinals to play number 2 seed Bonner and Prendy. Also on that same day, West Catholic played St. Joe's Prep, a 9-8 matchup. St. Joe's Prep lost by 2, 41-39. Took 3 overtimes to do this. For West Catholic, Johnson had 12 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals on the block. For St. Joe's Prep, Julian McKee had 7 points, 8 rebounds, and 1 assist. St. Joe's Prep also, Lesovitz, talking a lot about this guy. 11 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. And with that win, West Catholic advanced to play the number one seed Archbishop Wood in the Philadelphia Catholic League quarterfinals. And then on Friday, this is where it all goes down in the Philly Catholic League. For Archbishop Wood and West Catholic, they got it on standing room only. Number one seed Archbishop Wood and West Catholic locked up. Number 9-1 matchup. And Archbishop Wood once again gets the win, 65-41. For Archbishop Wood, Lundy has 17 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, 4 steals, and 2 blocks. Also, McAdams, hearing a lot about this guy too, over through the season, 10 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, and a block. And Rozier for West Catholic, 15 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, and a block. So with that win, Archbishop Wood is the first team to advance to play whoever the winner is at the Palestra in the Philadelphia Catholic League finals. And then also as well on Thursday, Bonner and Prendy faced off against number 7 seed Archbishop Ryan, high seed, low seed, 2 versus 7. Bonner and Prendy gets 72 points. Against the 57 points that Archbishop Ryan put up. For Bonner and Prendy, Francis was straight balling out there, 34 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal. For Archbishop Ryan, Malik Hughes had 13 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. And then also Matt Johnson, friend of the program, in his last game as a senior, 6 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. Definitely a great career for Matt. I've seen him grew up all the way through the Archbishop Ryan program. Great kid, coachable kid. He's definitely going to succeed at the next level wherever he goes, so good luck. Then also on top of that, like I said last week, it's not just about, just playing basketball. It's also about, just, getting your life skills together and just preparing for the next chapter in your life. So I can't wait to see where you're going, kid. Congratulations. Can't wait to see where you're going to take your basketball skills and knowledge to the next level. So definitely congratulations with that. Friday, another banger. 6 versus 3. Definitely standing room only at Holy Family. I was watching this game on Friday. Didn't get a chance to actually get there because the tickets were pretty much sold out by probably like 4:30. Tickets were pretty much sold out. 6-3 matchup. Father Judge against Philly's own number 3 seed Roman Catholic. Shout out to everybody out there in Roman Catholic. Father Judge with the win, 54-45. And this, as a fun fact, I think this is like the 5th time that they've matched up through the years, and every year Father Judge has beat them 5-0. So 5-0 is their record going into playing against Roman Catholic over the years. I mean, I believe they played each other in the playoffs. I think they played each other in state. Then, of course, they played each other again in regular season at Father Judge. Then once again back at Roman Catholic. So, yeah, this makes the 5th time that Father Judge has played. To be honest with you, I don't even think there was any type of like strategy out there. We pretty much knew what they could, not we, but Roman Catholic knew what they could do. Father Judge knew what Roman Catholic could do. Only thing they did was just buckle down. And it looked like that, Father Judge was going to clamp up in the end of the first half, but they just got it together. Father Judge, scrappy. Then, shout out to Derek Morton Rivera, the Temple commit. Had 17 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. Roman Catholic's own Sammy Jackson. Shout out to Mark Jackson. We all know who that is. 7 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, and a block. RJ Smith in his last game at Roman Catholic, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. And also the freshman Brad Wanamaker had 10 points, 1 rebound, and 1 steal. Definitely want to say congratulations to RJ and RJ, Derek is not done yet, but RJ and Sammy, because I remember watching these guys. I believe they've been on a couple AAU teams that I've seen them play in different, showcases and events in the Philadelphia area. Can't wait to see what you guys are going to do in state, in your last time going down. I know you guys are going to tear it up, leave it out on the floor. VCU is they're getting the gym. LaSalle's also getting the gym, just homegrown Philadelphia area, so we definitely know what they're getting. So with the win, Bonner and Prendy advances to the Palestra to play Archbishop Wood in the semis, and then also Father Judge will play against Archbishop Wood. They will play Father Judge. Excuse me, Archbishop Wood will play Father Judge. Bonner and Prendy will play. Let me see. Hold on a second. I think I got that wrong. They're going to be playing whoever wins in the New Margaretti and Archbishop Carroll matchup, which perfect segue to now 4-5 matchup. New Margaretti and Archbishop Carroll. New Margaretti with the win by 10, 61-51. For New Margaretti, Newsom had 16 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 blocks. And for New Margaretti's also Colson. That name definitely sounds familiar. We all know who that is. 14 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. And also for Archbishop Carroll, Williams had 24 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 steal, just leaving it all out on the floor. So basically what will happen here is I believe Newman will be playing 2 seed Bonner and Prendy in the semis at the Palestra, and then Father Judge will be playing Archbishop Wood. So basically, it goes like this. The semifinals, Wednesday, February 18th at the Palestra, is going to be standing room only. If you're not doing anything, please find a way to get down there, support these kids, support the school. If you're alumni, go ahead and get down there. Even if that's not your team and you're like from the Philadelphia Catholic League and the Philadelphia Archdiocese schools, definitely go down there and just support them. Support the Palestra, support the Philadelphia Archdiocese, and things of that sort. So it goes down like this. So number 1, Archbishop Wood plays Father Judge at 6 p.m. And then the nightcap, New Margaretti plays Bonner and Prendy at 8. And also congratulations to all the Philadelphia Catholic League, the first team, second team. Definitely, I'm going to announce them right now, so I won't leave anybody out. First team, Corey Francis from Bonner and Prendy. Excuse me, Corey Francis Jr. from Bonner and Prendy, right up the road. Shout out, right down the street from Upper Darby. Sammy Jackson, of course, senior Roman Catholic. Caleb Lundy, junior Archbishop Wood. Brady McAdams, senior Archbishop Wood. Derek Martin Rivera, senior Father Judge. Malik Hughes, senior Archbishop Ryan. Deshaun Yates, senior New Margaretti. Cam Jackson, junior Bonner and Prendy. Kingston Wheatley, senior at West Catholic Prep. And Julian McKee as a sophomore at St. Joe's Prep. Got more to come. Heading to second team, we got my man, homegrown RJ Smith, friend of the program. Shout out to RJ Smith, Roman Catholic. This is, one of the reasons why I'm proud of RJ, because I've seen him, as a little guy, and he's always been a little short. He's always been short in stature but large in heart. Just at the gym at GFS, working out with him on the side court, just pushing him around a little bit, roughing him up a little bit, so he gets a little bit tougher on me. But he got that grit and grind, from his dad. Shout out to Ryan Senior. And the games that we played, against each other, running against each other, straight clutch. So I definitely know where he gets it from. Definitely great basketball IQ, great mind on his shoulders, not only athletically but academically as well. And I really thought that RJ, he was going to make it, to the Palestra, because it's hard. It's hard to make it to the finals in the public league, and then the next year you're making it in the Catholic League. That's a feat, nothing to sneeze at. He almost got there. Definitely shout out, congratulations that you made public team all public last year. Then you made all Catholic this year. So that is nothing to sneeze at, man. So don't hold your head, little brother. I know the sting hurts from the loss and whatnot, but guess what? We'll see you. You might see him in state. You get your revenge on him in state. So heading to second team will be RJ Smith from Roman Catholic, of course. Jaden Jenkins from Archbishop Wood, the junior. Nasir Ross, senior Archbishop Carroll. Max Bashinsky, senior at Father Judge. Alison Njai, senior at New Margaretti. Yasir Turner, a sophomore at Archbishop Carroll. Ian Williams, senior at Archbishop Carroll. Marcus Newsom Jr., New Margaretti's junior. Cody Colson, a senior at New Margaretti. And Rocco Westfield, a senior at Father Judge. So definitely congratulations to you guys. On Tuesday, we've been following, Philadelphia Catholic League, but also Interact League and Public League was actually matching up too as well, getting ready for their home stretch and getting ready for their playoff run as well. This past Tuesday, Friends Select and Academy to New Church. Shout out to those guys. Friends Select and Academy to New Church played Academy New Church with the win, 58-57. Simon Gratz against Imhotep Charter. Imhotep Charter with the win, 71-35. Nine times out of 10, back in the day, if you know, like I know, how powerful, how much of a powerhouse that Gratz was, back in our heyday. I was a '90s kid. I grew up, I graduated in the '90s. How strong Gratz was. It just the score just looks so funny because usually Gratz is the one that's handing out the punishment to all these teams in the public league. So my times have changed. Also on Tuesday, Penn Charter and Malvern Prep is played. Malvern Prep with the win over Penn Charter, 67-54. Then on this past Wednesday, Germantown Friends and Shipley played. Shipley with the win over Germantown Friends, 62-43. And Thursday, Paul Robeson and Imhotep Charter. Once again, Imhotep Charter notching 70 over Paul Robeson, 71-46. And also on that same Friday during the Philadelphia Catholic League playoffs, you had Germantown Academy and Penn Charter play. Penn Charter with the win, 59-56. Malvern Prep with the win over Springside Chestnut Hills, 67-58. Academy of the New Church in Westtown played. Westtown with the win, 64-54. So I can't wait to see what's going on in the Interact. Hopefully I get a chance to catch one of the games maybe on a Saturday or a Sunday. In college basketball, of course, we all heard, the big tree fall down hard. Arizona, who did they lose to over the week? Was it? It wasn't, or was it Houston? It might have been Houston, I think. I think they played, I don't know if it was Houston, I believe. But Arizona suffered another loss. So, and, some of I was watching some of the interviews with some of the players, and they were just like pretty much down because he's like, now, we lost, but look at it like this. I'd rather have you guys go undefeated and lose in the conference than go undefeated, get all the way to the tournament and just get knocked out in the second round. That you just had a great season for nothing. So losing Bill's character, and they'll be okay. Especially getting ready for, let me see, were they in the Big 12? I think they're in the Big 12 I think they're in the Big 12 or Big 10 conference. I keep forgetting these conferences have been, closing down and other teams have been coming in. I believe they're in the Big 10 conference. If not, they're in the Big 10, Big 12, or SEC, whatever the case may be. Get ready for that. Get ready to come down the stretch and get ready for your conference tournament in March. And then from there, just ball out. Ball out come March, see where your site's going to be, where you play. Hopefully it's going to stay in the West. You should be good to go. But Arizona with the loss to Texas Tech, 78-75. Took an overtime for him to do it for Arizona's Toby Awaka. 16 points, 12 rebounds, and 2 assists. Also, top 25 action on Saturday. Colorado and BYU played. Shout out to BYU with the win, 90-86. Another overtime, an extra inning for them to win. Probably top 3 pick, AJ Dabansa, 20 points, 13 rebounds, 8 assists, and also Robert White III balled out with 39 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. Northwestern and Nebraska played some Big Ten matchup basketball. Nebraska with the win, number 7 ranked Nebraska, should I say. Shout out to Nebraska. Hasn't been ranked since, this high ranking, probably 94. That was during the Pooh Allen, Ty Lue, I believe he was on that team too. Pooh Allen, Ty Lue, Eric Piakowski. Shout out to the former Clipper. But Nebraska with the win, 68-49. Philadelphia's own, Penn Charter's own alumni, Jake West with 3 points, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists for Northwestern. Also Villanova and Creighton, some Big East action jumping off, 80-69. Villanova with the win. Villanova's Duke Brennan, 21 points, 12 rebounds, and 2 assists. Also, VCU and Richmond played in some Atlantic 10 action. Richmond lost to VCU, 78-67. Shout out to Ahmad Noel. I didn't see him dress up for it. He might be sick, so but hopefully he's doing well. We didn't get a chance to see him. Could be possibly a coach's decision because he didn't play, but he should be okay. Also in the Atlantic Sun Conference, we have Stetson and Florida Gulf Coast. Shout out to Florida Gulf Coast with the win. I believe they are I believe they're 16-19 right now, so they can get on the good foot, make a nice run in their conference tournament, and just win the whole thing and get a tournament bid. But Florida Coast with the win, 78-76. Florida Gulf Coast, shut out. That is the Philadelphia Pipeline. Quiet as cap. Jordan Ellerby had 18 points and 1 assist. Ramir Burno, Imhotep's own 8.1. 8 points, 1 rebound, and 4 assists. And also Darren Williams from Archbishop Ryan. Shout out. 3 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. Shout out to that. Minnesota and Washington played in some Big Ten action. I don't know why they call it the Big Ten. It's all the way out there on the West Coast. But Washington with the win over Minnesota, 69-57. And Minnesota's own and Penn Charter's own, Penn Charter alumni, Kai Shinholster had 1 rebound. If you didn't get a chance to pay attention to Kai, he actually had a great game a couple weeks ago. I think he went off for about 19 points. I believe it was against, I want to say Iowa that he had a great game against. Same as Jake West. Jake West over the week, this past Wednesday, had a great game against Iowa as well. Also in the Ivy League, we have Cornell and Penn. And Penn with the win, 82-76. Always a great matchup in the Ivy League. Down at the Palestra for UPenn, TJ Power had 17 points, 8 rebounds, and 1 steal. And in the SEC, moving it on down, Auburn and number 21 ranked Arkansas. Shout out to Arkansas and DJ Wagner and Calipari doing their thing down there. Arkansas with the win, 88-75. Arkansas and New Jersey's own DJ Wagner had 2 points, 1 rebound, and 1 assist. Also, as well in the SEC, Georgia and Oklahoma played in some SEC play. Oklahoma with the win over Georgia, then 94-78. Shout out to Philly's own Xavier Brown. Shout out to Coach Justin. 5 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, and 3 steals. Shout out. Do a little women's hoops. Number 3 is South Carolina. And number 6 ranked LSU played in South Carolina with the win in some SEC hoops action, 79-72. South Carolina's own, straight out of Minnesota, Tessa Johnson, 21 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. Also some Atlantic 10 action. St. Joe's and Loyola Chicago played. Shout out to Sister Jean. May she rest in peace. Loyola Chicago lost against St. Joe's 63-50. And friend of the program, Aaliyah Sneed. And we all know that name. Shout out to Gerald Sneed, which is her dad. 16 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists. Shout out to Aaliyah. She should be making the Atlantic 10, probably all first team, second team at the worst, but definitely all first team. But Aaliyah Sneed with 16 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists. Also in American athletic action, East Carolina and Temple played. East Carolina with the win over Temple, 79-73. Temple's Sanaya Craig, friend of the program. Remember her when she played for Jacksonville. We got a chance to interview her and Sanaa. Sanaya Craig with 20 points, 6 rebounds, 1 steal, and 1 block. And in the MEAC, Delaware State with the loss against Norfolk State down there in good old Virginia. Norfolk State, 77-45. For Norfolk State, C. Worley, friend of the program. Shout out to her dad, Eric Worley, 14 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 steals. Also for Delaware State, Anise Geiger, 8 points, 2 rebounds, and also for Delaware State, Amaya Scott with 2 points. So shout out to everybody. Looks like I covered pretty much everybody for college and high school. Now let's get into this All-Star Saturday. So, I gotta hit on my timeline. And my brother called me. Shout out to Dr. Kyle, Black Psychologist Podcast. Definitely listening to him. Has some great tips and great motivational messages on his Instagram. So definitely check him out at the Black Psychologist Podcast. It said the NBA 3-point contest winner was Damian Lillard. Now, my thing is, shout out to Damian Lillard. Shout out to, Oakland's own. But how and why? Why is he the winner? I think he should give that title to, Devin Booker because Damian Lillard hasn't played all year. So I think he has, I think he has a little bit of an advantage because he wasn't injured. If he was injured, he was probably rehabbing, but shoot or shoot. And I'm also trying to figure out you aren't just supposed to play a certain number of games to even be eligible for any like All-Star game or All-Star game activities dealing with the All-Star game. So I think if he does get that title, if they keep it, if it's in the record books, then that should be an asterisk. That should be an asterisk title right there. I get it with the title defense, but my thing is you should only do a title defense if you're eligible to play. Um, Come back next year, defend your title. Okay, whatever. Then if you lose, you lose. If you win, you win. Then you'll be the three-time 3-point champ. Um, NBA Shooting Stars competition winners. The team Knicks actually won, and that consisted of let's see, believe it was the Brunson family, Karl Anthony Towns, and Allen Houston was the NBA legend. And you know what? I saw Allen Houston out there, still got it, still got the silky smooth, jump shot, great form, great release. It was definitely a pleasure to watch. Some of those teams like the team Harper with the Harper family, the new basketball family that's coming in because you got Papa Ron Harper, then you got Dylan Harper, then you got, Ron Harper Jr., for the Celtics and the Spurs. So shout out to Ron Harper with the Clippers. He was definitely great for us. Shout out to number 4. Hopefully when they start retiring Clipper numbers, hopefully his name is mentioned. It's up there, but I think the first number is probably going to be it's probably going to be retired is either CP3's number, which is number 3, or it's probably going to be Blake Griffin, or it's going to be DeAndre Jordan. I mean, it should be either Lou Williams, Jamal Crawford, or let's see. I would say Danny Manning, but Danny Manning didn't play with us for that long, and then on that time he was pretty much injured. I would say Elton Brand, but Elton Brand kind of he kind of shafted us a little bit, so I'm not really I'm really not too keen on what he did to us. Slam dunk contest winner was Keyshawn Johnson for the Miami Heat, and I just got some changes, some questions about the NBA All Star Saturday. My brother and I we were talking off stage about that yesterday, about in regards to A, why is it starting so early? B, what's going on with the All Star format with the games? Because like I said before, I think we've been spoiled with with the competition of the games, but I think the game started getting bad. I would say like around like 2000. I would say 2009, like 2009, 2010. And then from there, it progressively, I'm not saying it got worse, but I think it progressively got a little bit more non-competitive in regards to, I know we're watching out for the player's safety. I get that. I totally get that. But, the fans, especially the young fans, they pay like a ton of money, like to see you guys play, because maybe they can't get a chance to see, their favorite players at home, just maybe because of work schedule, maybe because, whatever the case may be. But I still think that you you owe the fans to, try your best at least around in the fourth quarter. Like if the game is close, then play. Don't just try to, like when they're like letting people dunk and stuff like that. Because like I said before, I'm gonna throw it up there. 98 game, 97 game, 96 game, definitely 2001 game. Classic, all-star games. I believe was the 87 or the 88 game when, the East versus the West. And not only were they, you know, they were playing for the money and the prize, but they were also playing for pride too. They're playing for pride. They're playing for bragging rights. They're playing for, like themselves. They're playing for their families. They're playing for their teams. They're playing for the fans because not a whole lot of times the fans get to come out and watch these guys. So I think they deserve to see at least a little bit of competition, a little bit of effort. And over the course of years, they're giving like half effort, especially during the first half. And then third quarter, they might, do here and there. But most of the time, this, scores going up and they're hoisting half court threes. Like, nobody wants to see a half court shooting contest. If I want to see a half court shooting contest, I'll just go to the local LA Fitness and just start launching stuff. So hopefully, they'll probably see the comments and complaints about why is it starting so early, but something just came to me, as a matter of fact, because I know most of the time, before, the All-Star games used to start fairly late, like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and then the All-Star games aren't over until like 11. So we're staying up for like 2 and 3 hours, getting ready to start the work day. We're a little lagged and stuff like that. So. But we gotta do something about the start. Let me know. Put your thoughts in the comments to see what needs to be done about the All-Star game. But I'm sure they're going to see the views, and Adam Silver is probably going to have to say something. But yeah, but shout out to everybody who made the All-Star game. Also, want to say congratulations to Chris Paul, former Clipper. Former Clipper. He's announcing his retirement. I believe after 19 years he's been in the league, I believe, and he's had a great career everywhere he's went. He's been a winner. A lot of people say he's not a winner because he doesn't have a championship under his belt, but I think the stigma, excuse me, the stink and the stigma of him being a like dirty player, I think that like kind of caught up with him. I don't know. Certain players have their sentiments about Chris Paul. I remember when um, I remember Chris Paul in college. I remember that incident he had with Julius Hodge. I remember a couple incidents he's had, with Duke players and things of that sort. But I remember the Duke game. I remember the Duke game fondly because they were saying some real mean things about his grandfather, and his grandfather passed. So they were saying some really mean spirited things, to Chris Paul in his direction. Chris Paul took it like a champ, and he went out, he balled out, killed Duke that year. I believe that was what 2000. I want to say 2004 that he was giving him the business. Um, but definitely great career for Chris Paul. From Wake Forest to the Hornets, to the Clippers. He was supposed to go to the Lakers, but somehow David Stern kind of vetoed that trade, and he went right to the Clippers. So we'll take that. He did great for us. It was just, I think it was just like he just hit by the injury bug over there, and then, I think sometimes too, being a Jets fan and a Clippers fan, I think sometimes we are a snake bitten franchise. For some reason, we get far and we just don't get it done. Like something happens to like our players, something happens to, management, and it just like cripples us in the playoffs. So we can't do, but so much. So, but for midterm, my midterm grade for the Clippers right now, I would say probably a C plus. I would give them a C plus because we started off we started off kind of bad. And then also with the James Harden, with the James Harden trade and that situation, then Ivica Zubac leaving us as well. Kind of set us back right behind the 8 ball, but somehow we've been able to recover. I believe now at this time, I believe we're probably ninth in the West. So that's pretty good. That's playing game status. So if we get to a playing game, we could probably do some damage, to whatever teams out there, get in there and then get to the actual playoffs, and then we're good to go. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I just wanted to cover a little bit, of college basketball and high school basketball over the week. Like I said, if you're not doing anything on Wednesday, please try to make it down to the Palestra. Of course, the Palestra is the cathedral of college basketball, one of the last bastions of a basketball field house, because with all these places being so advanced. But, I never miss, the cold, the cold in the winter Palestra and the hot in the winter, and the hot in the summer Palestra. Never, I don't miss it. I love it. And but definitely try to get down there and support the kids. And look, just leave your, like and subscribe in the comments. And I'm going to go back to finishing watching this game, enjoying the rest of this Valentine's Day weekend. And hope to see you soon next week. I'll have more information. Hopefully, I'll have a midweek matchup, excuse me, with the Philadelphia Catholic League's Final Four with the semis down there at the Palestra. And so I'll just see you then. Have a great one. Enjoy your work week. Take care of you and yours. Enjoy.